Good morning with a cup of Joe. This is Cafe Du Monde coffee. Coffee with chicory and real cream. I think I finally nailed the way they do it in Las Vegas. I buy the coffee on Amazon, make it according to the instructions, and buy real whipping cream. I think that's the way they do it. It sure tastes the same to me. Today I want to talk about family. You know, my dad died last week, and it's been an adjustment to think of life with him and life without him. I had his funeral yesterday at Beulah Baptist Church. It was attended by about 25 people, mostly Starla's family and friends. Alan was there, Kendra with Aiden and Austin. So there was a nice service. Alan found this vase, this urn. It's really ornate, oriental. I've got pictures of it. So the next stage is to inter the ashes out at Bayview Cemetery sometime in the next couple months. No hurry about that whatsoever. I'd like to coordinate my trip to Pensacola with visits to the attorney and to my dad's property and the cemetery as well. So that's all forthcoming. But family. My mother's still alive. She's 89. She still has her faculties. To some extent, she can't hear very well, and even when I talk to her, we don't have much to talk about. How you doing? I'm fine. Nice to hear from you. Goodbye. Alan has done a masterful job working with my dad over the last few years, and I think our relationship is strengthened because of that and just being leftover brothers of a family. Erica has come of age. I'm 14 years older than she is, and her kids have grown up, so I think she has an adult sensibility that she can understand and understand me a little better with now. So that's very pleasing to see that relationship will further blossom. I'm very happy about that. Regarding my own children, my son Carl has had the same job and lived in the same place for practically 20 years, and he's going to Europe again. I couldn't be more proud of my son being a world traveler, going to Europe of all places. And he has a daughter named Abby, who he was allowed to be adopted by her mother and her current husband. I haven't seen Abby since the day she was born. I've seen pictures and a few stories as she grew up until Megan took her away from Carl, and I'm going to leave that statement stand. I was hoping that in the advent of the internet, social media, that one day I might get a knock on the door from Abby, that she would be curious about her Keys side of the family, because she was born Keys, and you would think she might be the least bit curious about it. But I'm totally open to my granddaughter Abby, whatever her last name is now, but Abby Keys, contacting her granddad Keys, because I sure would like to have a granddaughter. Regarding Tanya's two boys, their father is a criminal in prison for attempted murder. Their mother was a meth addict. You couldn't ask for a more screwed up upbringing, being relinquished to the state twice. But now Tanya is with her boys, and she's doing her best to raise them. And I think it's not without their battle scars interfering in a relationship with me. For a long time, they didn't know who I was, and when I got a little older, I knocked on the door as Grandpa and talked to them a little bit, and I don't know what their mothers ever told them about me. So I was really starting from scratch and from a distance. And after a couple of years, it just deflated to nothing. The last time I talked, Perry, she didn't even recognize my voice. And when I called Nick, he said he had other things to do with his friends, and he'd call me back. He never did. And that tells me a lot, that they really, really seriously don't give one flying fuck about their Grandpa Keys. And that hurts me because my grandfather Keys was a big fucking deal in my life. He was there, and I remember him from being a baby all the way to burying him at the cemetery. He was just pleasant and nice to be around. He could be gruff and ornery, and he could stink and flip cigarette ashes all over you and piss all over the toilets. But beyond that, the crux of the man about who he was and what he believed in and the wisdom he imparted to me and the pleasure I got out of knowing him is profound. And now I'm Grandpa Keys, and my grandchildren don't know shit from Shinola about me, don't seem to care either. And I don't know that they realize the tremendous loss of family history and values and stories because they just don't give a shit. Alan and I have spent a lot of time regurgitating our past to each other so we know the stories and we can retell them to whoever really wants to listen. I don't want to be forgotten, and that's why I got this camera and I do the best I can to record something of who I am. But this is about family. This is about the continuity of the legacy of the people who culminated across generations to equal me. And if I can't honor that, at least with a question about who were they and what did they do and what were they like and where did they live and how did they meet the other half that equal me, it's just beyond my understanding to think that that doesn't matter when me as a human being is sitting here in the present day right now. I'm proud to be Bobby Keys. No matter who the people were and how they treated me, their actions created who I am. And I'd like to know who they were, at least to call them a son of a bitch or the greatest grandpa and father a man could ever have. Brother, sister, and well, I'd like to say grandchildren too now and pass that pride of being who I am forward. Maybe Abby will see this one day, pick up the phone or knock on my door or send me a text. Maybe Nick will say, damn, I got a grandpa. Or Parrish too. And why not? Why the fuck not? I'm Bobby Keys. I'm Grandpa Keys. I'm the brother. I'm the uncle. I'm the one you really ought to listen to if you want to know who the fuck you really are, because I happen to know.